Australia's most competitive bank. Westpac, the bank. And SIO, your state insurance office. Tonight in an action-packed one-hour edition of Seven's Big League, Richmond embark on one of the season's toughest assignments. Beat Hawthorn and keep its final 5 hopes alive. Lose and look to 1986. That's pressure football VFL style. Also tonight we'll take you back to the grand final of 1909 on NEC's fantastic footy flashbacks. Scott Palmer presents TV's most comprehensive football roundup, and the Saints clash with the Lions at Victoria Park. That's tonight in Seven's Big League with your host, Peter Landy.
Thank you, Don Rainsford, and a very good evening, everyone. Welcome to Seven's Big League. Today's game at Victoria Park go Fitzroy, the opportunity of bouncing back after their loss last week to Richmond, while the Saints were no doubt hoping that they could repeat their 4-point success over the Lions that they enjoyed in round 5, their only win for the season to date. 3 games and percentage out of the 5 perhaps gave Fitzroy little incentive to aim at a finals chance, but they had to virtually make every post a winner. One high point for the fixture, though, was the appearance of 2 of the game's best full forwards, Tony Lockett and Bernie Quinlan, with the visitors desperately needing Lockett to fire this afternoon if they were to avoid their 11th defeat in succession. We get out to the start of the final quarter, and we see the difference, 14 points in favour of St Kilda.
Thomas, however, repels the attack with a high punt kick back towards centre wing. Cunningham underneath it and takes the mark. Well, he doesn't know, but he plays on. Handballs along in front of him. But there's the inconsistency when we saw in the last quarter the player was given the football. So really what Tony Bryant is doing is beyond question. Now, that's not the player's fault. It is without doubt the players showing their confusion at the umpire's inability to make a sensible decision. Do you agree, Robert?
Yes, Andy.
Locum's kick to centre wing. Spoiled by Bennett. Who's going to be down? Burns taps it out wide. And this time, I think Burnsy may be free kick. Top one. Well, he's been relatively quiet, apart from a magnificent goal. It really did lift the Saints, I feel.
So Burns in centre wing. Looks it wide. Moves in certainty. Doesn't get the mark, but will get the free kick anyway. So Paul Roos goes short towards the centre. Mark Scott takes the mark. So Scott plays on immediately. Goes across the ground. Grant Laurie, the player. Back to Burke. Peter Burke from the centre. Looks for Quinlan. A good mark by Quinlan in front of Crawley.
Well, he's kicked 3 behinds to date, Robert. Has been well held, and when he has had the opportunities, has been off target. But well, this is a spot that I'm sure he'd love to kick from. Now the flank 40 metres out, the drop punt on its way. He's lifted that too. Another behind goes on the board. So, that's Bernie's day. 4 points.
Looks to be rushing things a little bit today, Sandy.
You're suggesting he perhaps arrived a bit late, Robert.
So
trying to make up time.
maybe so.
Well,
with a long kick. Good mark to Burke. Burke now from the wing. Hand passes out wide. Turner takes it. Turner towards centre half forward. Crawley punches the ball away. Tapped on by Elphinston. Keel there for St Kilda. The hand pass puts his teammate under all sorts of pressure, and there's the result. Teammate had no chance whatsoever, and Hallis with the free kick. Hallis goes short and wide, and once again Mark Scott on his own. So Scott, 2 goals to his credit. Had an excellent game for Fitzroy. So Scott, the opportunity making the margin between the sides 7 points. Nice looking kick off the boot. Full points, 3 goals to Mark Scott. And that 3rd goal from Mark Scott takes Fitzroy to 12-10 with St Kilda on 14-5. So 7 points, the margin in favour of St Kilda. 3.5 minutes to the final turn here at Victoria Park.
Assessing Mark Scott's game, Robert, would you agree that he's possibly the best player on the ground today?
very close to it.
17 kicks, 17 handballs, and there's the mark. 7 points.
7 handballs, Sandy.
That's what I said, Robert. That's all right. That's okay. You're obviously a bit rushed today. Down towards the half-forward line. Come with the twin. Here's Thomas now, defending for Fitzroy. Down towards centre wing. Who's going to be first to Maul for the Saints? Now, they want a steadier. They're in a position where they can win a game. They certainly don't want to blow it. Side bottom across to Keeley. Caught one too high. The umpire missed it again. Down towards Pacini, who takes the mark in front of the arms. Well, Silvio's got a sniff of those goals. He's contributed 2. And an excellent chance of a quick reply. Here's the drop punt on its way from Pacini. A good-looking kick, and he's goal. And so the Saints steady once again. The margin 13 points.
As you said earlier, Sandy, we don't see a lot of St Kilda, but judging by the press, Silvio Pacini has been playing quite well. It was a surprise to see him sat on the interchange bench.
Centre bounce once again. Can St Kilda hold this lead? Can the Roys fight back? They still believe they've got a chance of making the 5, but if they lose this one, they can kiss that goodnight. Bennett to the half-forward line for the Saints, only to see the mark taken by Grant Long. Well, he's been pretty quiet, Bob. Well, he didn't go back past the mark and is allowed to play on.
He shouldn't have been allowed to play on by the player there on the sideline. Just in the back, must be paid to St Kilda, and it will be Hodges to take.
So Hodges on half-back. St Kilda holding sway at the moment. They're keeping their cool. They're playing steady football as Mace towards side bottom. And is going to be given the free kick. Disappointing there for the Roys because they had to run out of that half-back line then. Side bottom must go long. He does with a spiralling torpedo punt. Lockett got one grab. Burns has kicked one miraculous goal. He's kicked another one. That could be the one that could win it for the Saints. Gregory Burns, quiet for the bulk of the day, but 2 great goals could well see the Saints home with 4 premiership points.
The Saints going further ahead at the present moment, 82 to 101. Good start by St Kilda in this term. They had a 14-point lead at 3/4 time. Fitzroy kicked the goal and bridged the gap, made it down to 7 points. And now we see the margin 19 points. Bennett. Not a clear tap, but still got it wide. A good tackle by Bennett. The hand pass came from Clayton to Scott. Runs past Elphinston. Crawley comes out. Got the hand pass in. Hodges coming through as Hellwin on in possession. Called play on by the umpire. And Richard Osborne puts a magnificent kick in. That's a glorious kick by Richard Osborne. His second goal.
No matter how you plan to spend your retirement, one thing you're going to want is security. And that's exactly what Westpac's Club 55 offers. An investment package that gives you a high rate of interest paid monthly. Free advice on anything to do with your retirement or your money. Excellent travel benefits. And free access to all the advantages of our national electronic banking system. Most of all, it gives you a secure start to the rest of your life. Club 55 from Westpac, the bank.
If you make sure the name on your tape is as good as the name on your video, then you can count on it playing back memories year after year.
Gemini's got new fashion. Oh, Gemini's got new style. It's gonna go forever. Oh, Gemini's back in style. You're gonna drive a winner. Oh, Gemini's back in style.
The all-new Holden Gemini.
Every winter, you can take aspirin for the fever, or decongestants for your chest, or a spray for your nose, or analgesics for the aches and pains, or Orthoxicol. Orthoxicol has 4 ways to relieve cold and flu symptoms in a single capsule without leaving you drowsy. This winter, you can take all the others, or Orthoxicol. Remember, colds and flu, or Orthoxicol.
We played 3/4 minutes of this final term. Perth, members side, finds his teammate there in peak to centre wing, and Hallis interfering with Mace, so it will be the St Kilda ball. He's had a pretty good game, Robert, hasn't he? 14 kicks. Put the Saints back in towards their attacking zone. Thomas uses his muscle on Brown and then goes short to Logan on the defensive side of centre. Billy dummies once, steadies up to half forward. Hodges and Barwick. Oh, good mark by Barwick because Gary Hodges grabbed the jumper. Had a bit of a nudge, but Barwick with his strength was able to maintain his position, take the mark, and will now have a shot. He's right on the edge of the shadow, so that sun wouldn't be helpful.
The ground, Sammy.
Well, that's an interesting move because he's been playing pretty well, hasn't he? Kick for the half. Bernie Harris down there with the ground. Yes, that is interesting. 13-12. Fitzroy, St Kilda are 16-7. 13 points the market, Robert.
Hodges now. Goes long. Finds Morwood on the half-back flank. Morwood goes on immediately. Looking for Mace. Finds that player. Mace is on centre wing. Goes short. Lead from Cronin. Couldn't take the mark. Hell were not in possession. And so Cronin will take the free kick across the half-forward line. Phil Cronin. He goes short. Narkle, the player he's looking for. Narkle takes it. Narkle probably just too far out to score, but if he gets onto it all, he'll have a chance.
If he does kick it, Robert, it's going to make it very, very difficult for the Royals. I know we're only in the 13th minute. But it means they've got to make up 4 goals. Well, he has no run-up at all in that kick. Gets right underneath it. It goes into the square. Brown will be there, but he's collared immediately, and it goes over. But he stammered with 2 little steps and then kicked the football.
Kicking extra was behind us. And that's Peter McKenna away from Sandy.
Yes, he's standing with
Scott gets the tap down. Cooper. Cunningham takes a well-judged mark. That's a good mark to go on Cunningham. To Jeff Cunningham, I should say. Cunningham's kick. He's looking for Lockett. But at the back, Lockett can't take the mark. A nice one to Cooper, who plays on to Turner. Turner tackle, gets the hand pass across, on to Burke. Burke now towards centre wing. The back is Moore. Callis has gone down behind play. Runs past Bennett. Brown tackled too high. With the foot in the back. Mace suggesting that Hallis was acting. That's not on camera at the moment. Peter Brown. Roos comes across. Lockett not moving, not leading. He must lead down there and come up to the space. Paul Roos. Roos is kicked towards centre wing. A nice mark to Hallis. Wanting to get the ball moving in a hurry. Hallis put the ball forward. He's looking for Pekin. A well-judged mark to Tim Pekin. Pekin almost on half-forward flank. Going to hand pass. There he goes up to the pocket. Into the back of 10A comes Osborne, and I can't understand why Osborne didn't give away a free kick.
And he plays 103. 13-point margin. We're in the 15th minute of this final term. The Saints looking for their 2nd win of the season. To Osborne. Chip over his shoulder. In towards full forward. Laurie comes in. Oh, what a mark. What a courageous effort by Grant Laurie. And he will have a shot only 20 metres out. And an opportunity of keeping Fitzroy in this game. Shocking one to grab. High ball. Both players. Eyes on the football running towards it. But it was Laurie who won.
I prefer to be in Grant Laurie's position than Gary Hodges. All the same.
Gary Hodges is a player that would go in where Angels feet are tread anyway. But here's the kick. And it's good. And the Royals are still in this game. Can they come back? The margin now 7 points. 14-12 plays 16-7 on 7's big lead.
We're midway through the final term, so still anybody's game here at Victoria Park.
Can they get up, Robert? What are your thoughts?
Of course they can, Sandy. They're only
I asked you your selection, Robert.
away. And I'm inclined to think that St.Kilda might just hang on. So the next goal is a goal. Burns tries to take it out of the centre. Does so. Good play by Burns. Hooks it down. Lockett in front. Makes the difference, Sandy.
Tell you what, there's a Fitzroy boy down behind play in Dean Turner. It's not on camera. And there's a little bit of remonstrating going on there. So they want to be careful if they don't want to lose the football. He's up. But Tony Lockett has kicked 4. And this is probably the most important kick he's had for them. Directly in front, 30 metres out. Running out of the shadow, into the sunshine. He stabs away at a drop punt, and he's deadly accurate. And his goal may again open up the margin. So they're able to hold them off at the moment. 17-7 plays 14-12 on 7's big lead.
5 goals. Tony Lockett. 5 goals straight. An excellent kick for goal. There's Gary Pert, shielding the sun from his eyes, and Gary Lockett. Tony Lockett. That's Andrew Bennett, former Hawthorn player who has done quite well. He's gone to the ruck. Keel trying to get it out. Hand pass to Cunningham. Tapped on by Cunningham to Bennett. Good play by Burns. Burns to Cronin. Cronin going goalward. Nice looking kick off the field. Oh,
They're alive.
3 goals to Cronin. An excellent play by both Cunningham and Burns.
You're watching 7's Big League, part of the Nissan VFL Premiership season.
Come alive, come and drive, listen.
And that was only St Kilda's second win of the year. They won by 9 points after they defeated Fitzroy by 4 points earlier in the season. The goal kickers for the Saints, Lockett got 5 and 3 each to Cronin, Fashini and Manning. It did, of course, break a run of 11 out by the Saints. And for Fitzroy, Keane got 5 goals and 3 each to Scott and Richard Osborne. Bernie Quinlan finished up with only 5 points from 6 shots. In the stats, St Kilda on top in all departments excepting kicks, and impressively, they had 33 more handballs. You're watching 7's Big League. We'll take a break. Back with more action in just a moment.
Carlton and South Melbourne clash, 1909 style. Next on 7's Big League.
It's not just a better-looking picture. Deluxe series are better-looking sets. See?
When it comes to your insurance, there's a name you need to know. There's safe and sure and a care for your more than the S-I-O.
I've been insured with SIO for years. Not long ago, I had an accident. A bad one. The car was a wreck. Boy, was I glad I had an SIO agreed value policy. Instead of just getting market value, which could have been a much lower figure, I got back the full sum insured from SIO with no hassles. So if you have an accident, big or small, it's great to know with SIO, you'll be well looked after.
Victoria's gold and Carrier's gold and the S-I-O.
They're okay.
These are the magnificent new Series 3 Bluebirds. They're packed with luxury features and a new, more efficient 2-litre engine. This month, you can drive home in a brand new Bluebird for just $10,990. Oh, we don't need these. That's because there's no extra costs. Your Nissan dealer is including all on-road costs. This is a once-only price of $10,990 for the Bluebird GL 4-speed.
Come alive, come and drive, Nissan.
All it takes to install the medium-size Hoover Premier is a few minutes of your time instead of a service man. That's why Hoover is ahead of the rest.
On 7's Big League now, we check the leading goal kickers after the first part of today's split round. Not much action. Tony Lockett got 5 and Michael Roach only 1. He was taken from the field today, but came back to do the ruck work in the final term for the Tigers. If you're having a punt on the football today, the footy double, Hawthorn and St Kilda, selections 22 and 14 respectively, $5.15 and $7.45. Now the double, it came out like this. $235.15. $235 for Hawthorn and St.Kilda in the footy double this afternoon. Time for NEC Fantastic Footy Flashbacks. As usual, our host, Sandy Roberts.
Thank you, Peter, and welcome once again to NEC Fantastic Footy Flashbacks. An important night tonight, an important week, because this week, as we've done in the past, we are making a draw from the barrel from all those people who have entered. So if you've got an entry in, you've got a chance of winning a magnificent colour TV from NEC. And after dipping into the barrel, we have found a winner in Pat Shaw of Nicholson Crescent, Lilydale. And in brackets she's got underneath, she's followed north for 47 years, in fact, since she was 10. I think you've just given away your age there, Pat, but congratulations to you. You have won that magnificent prize. We shall be in touch with you, and of course we'll be making more draws throughout the season. Now to our segment for this week, and I had a letter during the week from Mrs. Maeve Moore of Box Hill South. And I think Maeve thought she might trick us, because she's got on the back, here's a curly one, Sandy. She has asked for highlights of the 1909 Grand Final. It was played between South Melbourne and Carlton. And then she says, if not, the 1933 Grand Final. Maeve is a South Melbourne or Sydney Swan supporter. Well, Maeve, you didn't catch us. We've caught you, because we've got some highlights of the 1909 Grand Final. The MCG on Grand Final Day, 1909. The fledgling Victorian Football League was embarking on its 13th premiership battle, with defending premiers Carlton aiming for its 4th premiership in as many years. This day, the Blues were pitted against minor premiers South Melbourne, aiming for its 1st Grand Final victory. It was a season that saw a sensational feud between Carlton coach Jack Worrell and his entire team. Under extreme pressure, Worrell resigned, and captain Fred Elliott took over the coaching duties. South had come off second best after a fiery clash with the Blues in an earlier final, and in this match, they aimed for the open spaces. It was a low-scoring affair, with neither side scoring a goal in the first quarter. The half-time scores were level, with 2 goals 9 apiece, and South held a slender 7-point lead at the last change. South Melbourne scored only 2 points in the last quarter, but it was enough to give the Swans their 1st premiership. They were to win 2 more in 1918 and 1933, and haven't tasted success now for 52 years. Best players for South, Franks, Thomas and Cameron, while history tells us that for Carlton, Rod McGregor, Jinks and Payne were outstanding. The umpire was Jack Alva.
Throughout season 85, all letters will go into our Fantastic Footy Flashbacks barrel and be eligible to win one of 6 magnificent portable televisions from NEC. At the end of the season, all entries will go back into the barrel for the major prize draw of this outstanding 63cm stereo colour television and a VHS video hi-fi from NEC, high technology colour television and video.
Thank you, Sandy. I love the shorts they were wearing in that 1909 Grand Final. Don't forget, football tomorrow is from the Lake Oval, speaking of South Melbourne. And at the Lake Oval, it's Fitzroy and St.Kilda. And you'll see that game in the Army Reserve Cup straight after World of Sports at 2:15. Sevens Big League, back in just a moment.
Coming up, the all-powerful Hawks take on Richmond on Sevens Big League.
Here are tonight's Stats 2 results, just drawn under government supervision.
We've seen a whole lot of champions in Australia on NEC, Australia's champion colour TV. Seen them run, swim and fall, seen them hit and do it all. NEC, our champion colour TV.
Here's a great offer from NEC. Choose your next colour TV from the NEC range, and then, if you reckon there's a better colour TV picture, they'll give your money back. So see for yourself.
See it try, see it fall, see it best of all. NEC, our champion colour TV.
Holden Astra.
Do you prefer an Australian view to explore a country scene? Do you love an unspoiled paradise? Enjoy your tropical dreams. Do you prefer the rainforest green? A Sunday lunch with friends?
Holden Astra is for those who prefer something exciting, modern, functional and real value for money. Holden Astra if you prefer something special.
Ships from Rome to Paris,
would really be embarrassed.
If all the world could have a chirp like ours, we've got a red, 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 red rooster. Yes, we've got a red, 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 red rooster. You'll know with just one look, we've got the world's best chirp.
Australia, your chicken is ready.
We've got a red, 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 red rooster.
When you look around Victoria, at the start of every day, you'll find someone there to help you, someone with you all the way. 'Cause when it comes to your insurance, there's a name you need to know. They're safe and sure, and they care for you more than the S-I-O.
That was quick, boss.
Yes, I have. You're okay for workers' compensation insurance.
And they're okay for home insurance.
And okay for car insurance too.
Victorian Grown and Carriers Grown, they're the S-I-O.
They're okay.
Welcome back to Sevens Big League, and our second game tonight is from the MCG, where Richmond played host to Hawthorn, a side they soundly defeated in round 5 by 39 points. In seasons past, Richmond has often proved difficult for the Hawks, although the boys from Glenferrie have won their past 3 matches against the Tigers on the MCG. Last up, of course, it was Richmond all the way. Their score of 188 points was their highest ever recorded against Hawthorn, and that total was swelled considerably by 11 goals from Michael Roach. Last week, Richmond 2 turned a 35-point deficit into a 4-goal win over Fitzroy, while the Hawks overcame a slow start to defeat the Swans. Since then, of course, they've lost their skipper Lee Matthews for 4 weeks. His place in front of goals today taken by Jason Dunstall. Our replay tonight begins at the 8.5-minute mark of the first quarter. With me in the commentary box is Lou Richards, Hawthorn leading by 6 points.
Pioneer out there on that half-back flank position. The ball driven long, Langford in front of Jimmy Jess and takes the mark out there on the centre wing position. Short pass, not a good one. Picked up by Lester Smith over to Wallace. Back it goes to Byrne and a beautiful pass over to Russo. Hawthorn looking good at this particular stage of the match. To Tuck, a long kick up there towards Dunstall. Strawn's there. Dunstall's got it. As I said before, this fella can play football. And this is not against Lee Matthews, Pete, but I just feel that when Matthews is playing alongside him, it's inclined to crowd this young fellow.
Similar players, aren't they, Lou, in that regard, the role that they're playing at present?
Well, this fellow's going to be a league footballer and probably a pretty effective pull forward, too. That was a fine mark. He outmanoeuvred Strawn to take that mark. Got a chance for goal number 2 from about 15 metres out. And there's no doubt about that one. That's a goal. So it's Hawthorn 3 goals straight, 18 points. To Richmond 1 goal, 6 points.
And both of Dunstan's goals coming from very good marks. That one probably the better of the 2. For Richmond, Michael Roach has, well, as we watch that in replay, Wallace getting the hand pass over to Byrne. His foot pass not as good as his hand pass as a raw, but did get it to Russo. Tuck goes long. And Dunstall manoeuvres himself here very, very well in front of Greg Strawn.
Tucked the backside in nicely and kept him away, Pete.
Approaching the 10-minute mark now of the first quarter. Hawthorn by 12 points at the MCG in our match of the day. Barling should get this tap out. Couldn't quite get it clear of the pack, though. Russo fumbled. A chance for 2 Richmond players here to pick the ball up. It's softened off the ground by Creven. Up towards the left half-forward flank. Pickering shoots out the hand pass. That's okay to James. Here's a real sharpshooter, James. In towards the 10-metre square. Roach and Mew. Green, the Victorian vice-captain. Well, gets offloaded by Rowings, his former teammate. And knocked through by Gary Ayres for 1 behind. For the Richmond total, that's the first behind of the match. He came up at the 10.5-minute mark of the opening quarter. 7 plays 18 in favour of Hawthorn. Chris Mew is the man on the screen with the ball. Good lead made to the half-back line by Eade. There's no one within 35 metres of Rodney Eade. Could have run a little bit further. Decides to go for the pass up towards Loveridge. A great pass. Kennedy at the point of the square. Gets a 15-metre penalty. Eade playing a good first quarter for Hawthorn. Eade. Judge, has he got it? Yes. Just inside the boundary line. Judge has one for Hawthorn so far from a free kick.
Richmond defence pretty loose down there, Pete, letting him get away.
Well, I don't think the Richmond defence is well stocked with pacey players. Could bring about their undoing this afternoon. Well, that's a good mark taken by Poole, and he got one over the shoulder from Burke.
Ball out towards the half-back line. Byrne just about had the mark. Francis scouts the pack well. Shoots the pass in up towards centre wing position. Chance for Anea. Gets grabbed by Ayres, but he didn't have the ball. Anea again. Kick number 2. Out of bounds on the full, I think it will be, and a free kick to Hawthorn at left half-back flank.
Richmond supporters yelling for a push in the back. Thanks, Pete. Well, I don't think it was a push in the back, a side push. So the ball goes back there towards the centre wing position. Punched away that time by Barling from Byrne. Going into meter now is Tuck and Anea. The Anea goes down as he grabbed too high. Oh, Rioli, magnificent play. Spun at the pack beautifully. Goes for a pass. It'll be okay. Marked by Jet. Well, that was magical football from Rioli. And no wonder they call him Mr. Magic. Now, Jimmy Jeswood, there's the mark from the kick and the brilliant play of Rioli. And Jimmy Jess would only be about 30 metres out directly in front. And he's put that through for a goal, so the Tigers are still battling on there. 2 goals, 1, 13 points to Hawthorn, 3 goals, 18. And of course, there's nothing about Rioli when he's firing. It makes a difference to the Richmond team. He had a bit of a lapse in the middle part of the season.
He doesn't have much of a lapse, though, as a rule, does he?
Well, he did, but see him spin out of the pack in the pass. Spotted Jimmy Jess, placed it beautifully. Even I could have marked that one. Well, I don't think so today, but say 20 or 30.
You would have got it
35 years ago.
You would have got it.
2-1 to 3 goals straight. A difference of 5 points. It's the centre bounce again. Into this quarter just on the 13.5-minute mark. Waiting now for the knockout. Barling against Byrne. Burns dominated these knocks. He got another one down, tucked right down his throat. The ball goes back there to Egan. Picked it up. He's grabbed by Loveridge. Tapped on. This time it's Kennedy spinning out the pack, a long shot at goal, but he dug off target through for 1 point. Well, Kennedy hasn't played that well this season, but allowing for that, he did have a broken leg.
He did.
And, of course, he looks as though he's off to a better start today. He's had a couple of touches already. Ball back into play again. Good mark to Barling. Over it goes down to McKenna. McKenna out there at half-back, hooks the ball back towards the centre. And Francis grabs it. It's the ex-Fitzroy play.
Ex-Carlton.
Ex-Carlton. Ball across to half-forward. It's a bad kick. And he's played very well in his first 10 minutes or so. He's been a star down there in defence. Kicks it out wide. It's okay. Judge has grabbed it. Elusive Judge. Over it goes down to Wallace. Wallace shoots the ball back there. Drops it short. And Dunstall's got it again.
Mark number 3.
And he's got a chance to kick his 3rd goal. And I hate to say this. I told you this kid could play football.
Well, he's a little too fast for Strawn, though, isn't he?
He's a bit fast for Dunstall, for Strawn, but that's not much of a rap because Strawn's, as you say, Pete, 2 yards slower than a statue sometimes. There's another goal. That's goal number 3, and the Hawks move on to 4 goals, 1. 25 to Richmond, 2 goals, 1. 13.
Hoover President dishwasher is so quiet. It's quieter than a mouse. That's why Hoover is ahead of the rest.
For the next 30 seconds, consider Nashua's 4790 photocopier. In addition to a host of features such as automatic 2-sided copying of documents, it's extremely rapid. In fact, the Nashua 4790 produces all these copies in the time it takes to bring you this message. Copy speed. Another reason to make Nashua your #1 choice in office copiers.
These are the magnificent new Series 3 Bluebirds. They're packed with luxury features and a new, more efficient 2-litre engine. This month, you can drive home in a brand new Bluebird for just $10,990. Oh, we don't need these. That's because there's no extra costs. Your Nissan dealer is including all on-road costs. This is a once-only price of $10,990 for the Bluebird GL 4-speed. Come alive, come and drive, Nissan.
こんにちは。いつの日か電話機がこのようにある言葉から他の言葉へ翻訳して使えるでしょう。NEC はすでに最新の技術を駆使してリサーチモデルを開発しています。NEC のビジネスコミュニケーションの製品をご覧ください。オーストラリアの代表的な鉄鋼内交換機最新鋭の発明。どうもありがとうございました。さようなら。
NEC, what the world is coming to.
A threat, an ultimatum, an explosive hostage situation, and Abby Ewings faces real danger. Tonight at 9:30, a desperate life and death race against the clock in Knots Landing on 7.
9 goals, 4 plays, 3 goals, 2. As we approach the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. Francis didn't hold that mark. Brereton kept it on beautifully over the Buccaneer. Smart play and a beautiful pass. And the ball marked here by Loveridge. Well, Loveridge would be about 45 metres out. He's gone for a short pass. The mark dropped that time by Henry. Picked up by Jeff in a bit of trouble here, but he gets out with a long hand pass over to Waitman. Waitman gets the ball back to Rioli, but he runs into a brick wall when he struck Tuck. Waitman tries to back up, and his Tuck coming away with the ball. Boots it back there, but it's out of bounds in the back pocket position there for Hawthorn.
Nevertheless, a great tackle by Tuck, Luke.
Gone right across goal here. This is dangerous for Sikorsky. Collars this one pretty smartly. He's too quick there for DP and Domenico. Leaves him for dead. Front the half back line has a long kick over the centre wing position. Barling flies, couldn't hold the mark. The chance now for Rawlings. Well collared, nearly holding the ball as he gets the ball back to Anea, who fumbled the ball. Was that a free kick? No, the umpire said play on Burns. Doing a great job for Hawthorn. The ruck over to Loveridge. Up there to Dunstall. He's got the chance. He's got it again. And this could be goal number 5. I don't know why they've left scoring him for so long. By golly, he's outmanoeuvred him, outplayed him, outkicked him. You name it, he's done it, this young fellow. I know I didn't mention before, but he's a different player out on that forward line on his own. Because he's got plenty of room to move around. He's the general down there today, and he's doing a great job. There it is, goal number 5 to Dunstall.
5 kicks.
Not a bad effort. And that's called top percentage football. 10 goals, 464 Hawthorn. For Richmond, 3 goals, 220.
5 goals to Jason Dunstall and 2 to Judge.
That was nearly a free kick there to Anea. And Loveridge breaking clear. Spotted Dunstall. Placed the ball beautifully over the head of Strawn. And Strawn in a lot of bother. It's about time the Tiger coach, Sproul, moved Strawn away.
5 goals to Dunstall, as I said, 2 to Judge. Major goal kickers for Hawthorn.
Well, possibly it's a bit late to move him now. He might as well let him suffer the consequences, Pete.
Kick 5, yes. Wallace. Poole. I guess I don't want to take Poole away from Brereton because he's doing such a good job there. That might be the reason.
I'd take Jimmy Guest down there because he's not doing much at centre-half forward.
Francis up towards centre wing. Chance for James. Paddles the ball out, almost intercepted by Lester Smith, who knocks the ball further forward again, where it's picked up by Buccaneer. Buccaneer back to Wallace. Possession number 10. Inboard to Kennedy, looking for Loveridge, playing well for Hawthorn. Loveridge from half forward, goes long again. Where's Dunstall? It doesn't matter about him. It's through for a goal. And that's his first goal. And his 9th kick, 11-4-70 to 3-2-20 at the MCG.
Well, we're going to have a problem here today trying to pick the best player for Hawthorn for World of Sport tomorrow, Pete, because they've had so many good players. This fella's been a star too, Loveridge. And that's a great kick for goal on the right.
Yes, it would have covered about 50 to 55 metres from Loveridge. Dunstall was in the goal square. As I said, it didn't matter. It went straight over his head. 50 points in favour of Hawthorn. 11-4 to 3-2. If Richmond are going to come back, they'll have to start doing it pretty quickly. Byrne and Barling, knocked down by Barling that time, but picked up by Wallace onto Kennedy. Kennedy's hand pass back to Russo, who fumbles. Doesn't matter. Short to DP Domenico. He's gone out back to Wallace. Dunstall again. Could have got one in the back. Hawthorn supporters thought so. Egan caught with the ball. Umpire Russo says holding the ball.
Great tackle that time by Dunstall, Pete. By golly, he went after him. You watch it in replay.
So shaping up as one of Hawthorn's best players with 5 goals so far. And at the 6.5-minute mark at the quarter, here it is again.
He collared him all the way that time, Dunstall. He's got a big chance for goal number 6 now.
Dunstall about 45 to 50 metres out on a slight angle. Hasn't kicked a point so far. Let's see how he goes with the long shot. He has kicked a point now, yes. So he's got 5 goals, 1 to his credit, Jason Dunstall. And Hawthorn take their score to 11-5. 71, that's a difference of 51 points.
51 points the difference. We wait now for Straw to bring the ball back into play for the Tigers. And they're not looking too good. They look pretty sick as the ball goes down to centre-half back. At the back is Lester Smith. Read that beautifully and takes the mark. A great mark. But the Hawthorn defence haven't had much work. There's Dunstall again, leading away from Strawn. It looks very lackadaisical. He's gone for a short pass. Unselfish play by the Hawthorn full forward directly in front. Well, he could have easily kicked that goal himself to make it 6 for the day so far, but he decided and very unsuccessfully passed it over there to Di Domenico. There's the kick on its way, and that's a goal.
Di Domenico's first.
And Hawthorn move on now to 12 goals, 577 to Richmond, 3 goals, 220. And Di Domenico very happy there. He's had a bit of trouble this year with his form, but those sort of things today, what happened then with a nice pass, certainly gives you a bit of encouragement to gain form again.
Well, Paul Sproul obviously making no move to change the full-back.
We're just over the 8-minute mark of this second quarter. And it's 77 plays 20 in favour of Hawthorn. And they're doing it easy. Richmond not looking too good. After winning 2 games in a row, they're really back to the field now. Knocked out by Byrne.
Richmond runner going down to Strawn now, Luke.
Well, OK, he could be moved. It could be Jimmy Jess moving down there. That kick of Di Domenico was smothered. It was grabbed off the boot by Byrne. Up it goes to Strawn and Dunstall. And the crowd giving ironic cheers there to Strawn because he took a mark. He got his opponent in the back. Francis picked up by Tuck. Back it goes now to Dunstall and Strawn. Flying high was Brutal. No one can take the mark. A bit of scrimmaging going on, but the umpire will ball it up about 5 metres out from the Hawthorn goal.
Stewart looks as though he's about to come on. Lou, of course, played many games at full-back for Tommy.
Well, Stewart will have the job. It looks as though he could be minding Dunstall has already kicked 5 goals. Knocked out by Kennedy. Loveridge gets it back to Dunstall. He might have got this one too. I think he has, but no, it's a point. That was a beautiful snapshot by Dunstall. Well, again, this fella's playing down there at full forward, but I must admit the opposition hasn't been too strong today. 3 goals, 220 to 12 goals, 678 in favour of Hawthorn. Into this quarter by just over 9.5 minutes. That's the second. Short pass, it's okay, and marked here by Francis at centre-half back to the target.
Who would be one of Richmond's better players. Francis with 8 kicks, 8 possessions, out towards centre field. Regan just about had the grab there, but didn't come down with the ball. And it will be a bounce on the centre wing position. Members stand side. 10 minutes gone, second quarter. Stewart still standing on the boundary line. One would only presume that he would go to full-back. We'll wait and see. Knocked down towards Dudge. Back to Green. He's playing a very good game for Hawthorn. Down towards full forward again. Here's a chance for Dunstall. Strawn lightning hammer. This time Dunstall has a snapshot. Puts it out of bounds on the full, I think. And it will be a free kick to Richmond to be taken by Strawn. Strawn at the left back pocket for the Tigers. And certainly will have their work cut out getting back into the match now. Strawn going wide towards the outer side, trying to find Jeff. He's in front. Tuck taps the ball further forward for Buckenara. Buckenara return on to Russo. Russo with the left foot, a snapshot from 35 metres out is good, I think, for a goal. Yes, it is. And so Hawthorn popping them through from everywhere now. 13 goals, 684 to 3-2-20 at the MCG.
Imagine if you tried to do everything with the one card. Now, there is a one-card way. The Westpac MasterCard. The one card that does it in one. Only from Westpac, the bank.
The news is out. A new model of the world award-winning, fully imported Mazda 626 is on its way. This is your last opportunity to own a current model Mazda 626 at an extremely favorable price.
These powerful new Hoover suction cleaners make light work of even the heaviest housework. Smashing. That's why Hoover is ahead of the rest.
The Yanks would send their hot dogs for a walk.
You take a walk!
The Chinese would really do their noodles.
Hey, you must go.
The Italians would spaghetti their spaghetti.
Oh, mamma mia!
The Austrians would give away their strudel. you'd find the Poms all cashing in their chips.
Hello, hello.
And pizza just another name for tower. Chefs from Rome to Paris would really be embarrassed if all the world could have a chook like ours. We've got a red rooster. We've got a red rooster. You'll know with just one look, we've got the world's best chook.
Australia, your chicken is ready.
We've got a red rooster. We've got a red rooster.
Tonight, in a special movie-length presentation, Quincy investigates the drug-related death of an associate's son and uncovers a hornet's nest of hypocrisy and human tragedy. Quincy, tonight at 7:30 on 7.
13 and a half minutes gone. Richmond looking a much better side now. In fact, they're outscoring and outplaying Hawthorn so far in this quarter. Russo can't get clear. It goes to Di Domenico. His kick is up towards Dunstall. Dunstall leading Stewart. He's too fast for him as well. 8 marks to Jason Dunstall.
Going for goal number 8, Peter.
And 16 possession, so that's not bad from full forward. Pass is excellent. The mark is even better. And so far today, he's been a very accurate kick. 7-2 he's kicked. Is that 8-2 or 7-3? I'll have to wait on the goal umpire. It's a goal, so 8 goals to Jason Dunstall. And maybe he's going to be Hawthorn's answer at the spearhead position. 17-11, 1-1-3 to 9-5, 59.
Well, I don't know what age young Dunstall is, but I watched him play, and that's strong mark by Dunstall, and of course the goal was never in doubt, really. Lines them up. Pete, I think he's only about 19 too, isn't he?
Yes, I saw him play first this year in an AFC
yes,
match
that's right.
Queensland.
Very impressive that day too, wasn't he?
Back into the centre, 14 and a half minutes gone. 113 plays, 59 in the third quarter. And statistician Paul Codd checking on the age of Jason Dunstall. I think he's about 20, Lou. Picked up by Kennedy, good smother by Francis. In goes Anea. Playing a good game today, Anea. Fumble by Francis, lets the opposition in. No, Anea tries to get it out. Byrne and Buckenara combine for Hawthorn. Umbridge over the top. Almost a grab. Play on. Brereton does. Tries to get it to Judge. Judge's snapshot coming around. Will it? Yes. Great snapshot by the West Australian. His fourth. And Hawthorn at the 15-minute mark of the term bring up their 18s. 18-11, 1-1-9 to 9-5, 59.
Well, that Tiger onslaught didn't last too long, Luke, because the Hawthorn have bounced back very quickly in this last 5 minutes, kicking 2 goals, one from Judge, and of course, a fine effort that time by Loveridge. He nearly grabbed that one, but couldn't hold it long enough. And the Interstate ball coming down there, Loveridge at the back. Ball hits the deck, backing up well as Brereton, gets a long hand pass over to Judge, and this fella's a very smart half-forward flanker. Should never be out of their side.
I must agree with you there. 15 and a half minutes gone. A couple of quick goals reassert Hawthorn's supremacy now in the third quarter. Brereton fumbles momentarily, gets it over to Buckenara. Buckenara on to Kennedy. Great turn of speed. From 20 metres out, he shoots at goal and has stopped it, I think. No, he hasn't. 1 point. And so 18-12 to 9-5, 59 to 120.
Ball back into play again, just on the 16-minute mark of this third quarter. Flying high with Sikowski, couldn't hold the mark. The ball tapped down to Byrne, he couldn't bend. Rioli gets one too high. No, the umpire said that's okay, and I agree with him. Over to DP and Domenico, a long kick at the back as Tucky's got the sit here. Couldn't get the ball back. He snapped at goal. He might have got this one. I think he has, Tucky. Knocked the umpire's head off and all. There, that's goal number 2 to Tucky, and Hawthorn looking really good again. 19-12, 126 to Richmond, 9-5, 59.
I was just saying 5 minutes ago, Lou, that Richmond were outplaying Hawthorn this quarter because they kicked 3 goals to 1, but how quickly Hawthorn have bounced back again.
On this last 5 minutes, they've looked really, well, they're far too superior, Pete, and that's the strength of Hawthorn. They can bounce back. If they've got a problem, they've got to beat Essendon this year. That's the biggest problem that every side's got, I should imagine.
Nobody can do it, really. North Melbourne and Fitzroy, the only sides to have been successful against the Bombers in 85.
So we're just on the 17-minute mark, 126 plays, 59 in favour of Hawthorn. The ball knocked out by Byrne, pushed on by Kennedy. Rawlings gets a kick back there. Off Curran dropped an easy one, but he recovered. He ran right into Ayres that time, but he couldn't pick it up. Good hand pass from Waitman out there to Anea. The ball falls short. Roach tries to tap the ball on, but he's been pretty well covered by Mew. Matter of fact, Roach has only kicked 1 goal. It's Anea down there, battling his inside out as he gets it over to Jimmy Jess. A long kick, Pickering fly for this one. Punched away by Ayres. In goes Crevin, overruns the ball. It's McKenna spinning away. Back to Rioli, a snap at goal, but it won't make the distance. Flying high was James. They all missed that one. As they go now for Pickering again. His grab gets a hand pass back to McKenna. It's too long. Pushed on by Eads. Grabbed here now by Crevins. Crevins kick ball short. Jimmy Jess flies, but it's off the hands of Jimmy Jess and through for 1 point. So the Tigers really making hard work of it now. 9 goals, 660 to Hawthorn, 19-12, 126. And we're just on the 18-minute mark of this third quarter, and Hawthorn looking really good.
Chris Mew to the kicking in for Hawthorn, and this time does go long, which is, I think, good tactics because he's a great kick, Mew. And that was a great mark by Curran, his first of the day. Curran's kick dropping short just over centre field, but it's his mark for Hawthorn by Kennedy, who gets the hand pass out to Loveridge, who's playing one of his best games for the year for Hawthorn. Loveridge up to Brereton and Poole at the back as Judge, almost a mark, over to deep here to Domenico, onto Tuck, well shepherded by Brereton. Tuck fires with the left foot, he's not bad, and he's put it through, I think, for another one. 2 goals has scored to Michael Tuck for a total of 3. Hawthorn's 20th, 2012, 132, Richmond 9660.
You're watching Sevens Big League, part of the Nissan VFL Premiership season.
Hawthorn leading all day. They kicked 9 goals in 2 quarters, namely the first and the third to run out winners by 67 points. Not their biggest win over Richmond. That was 88 points last year. In the stats, Hawthorn, we can see, pretty well on top in all departments. In fact, they were there, except the free kicks. Looking at the goal kickers at the MCG this afternoon, Jason Dunstall, a fine performance for Hawthorn. He kicked 8 goals, Judge got 5, and Michael Tuck 3. And for Richmond, their best forward far and above was Pickering. He finished up with 5 goals. James got 3, Jess 3, and also Rowlings got 3 goals. In the Hawthorn rooms after the game, I spoke to their star half-forward flanker, Ken Judge. Well, Ken, after a couple of games in the reserves through the year, I think your own form today would give you a great deal of personal satisfaction.
Yeah, I was pretty happy the way it went today, Peter. It was good to have a win against Richmond, who we were expecting a real hard game from. Unfortunately, we put our game together today, so, you know, I was pretty happy personally and for the side's point of view.
A couple of